Listen,
what
you know what I'm saying, blind squirrel, you know, broken clock, all that type of stuff, but I thought when it was 11 versus 11, they were by far the better side. I think there was something to be said about going and pressing United at the back. They did that. Obviously, Bunny's goal comes from that. But they were by far the better team, in my opinion. It was only when United had the extra player that they try and force it. But even in that, they didn't do as well as say they could have done.
Yeah, the players coming past us now.
What a win.
Jubilant. What a win.
What a win.
Coming from behind as well. We've seen this season that it's been United who have been the team throughout the league who have come back from behind well.
Exactly. But it just goes to show these girls have got some great character. Skipper!
Huge win. Congratulations. That's what it means. That's what it means to the players. The City fans over in the corner, they'll be here for a little while longer. What a day, what a celebration.
Incredible, no matter how good and big City are and so on. the fact remains, there is always something to be said about these derby games. The fact about coming over here.
Go on.
Class.
Get in there.
Kiara.
Congratulations.
The fact that you can come here and be your biggest, these will always be the biggest rivals, no matter how football goes. Playing against Manchester United is always a special occasion. When you get a chance to beat them away from home and silence, what was the second biggest crowd in Manchester women's derby history, it's amazing, and they're all buzzing, and I think a lot of people from the blue persuasion are as well.
And I love that you mentioned that second biggest attendance for a Manchester derby crowd.
Which one was first?
The Etihad last season. Our crown remains in that front as well. Great attendance, but nice to keep that as well, and also setting a target for when we go back over to the Etihad next year.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure that when the second game of the season against United comes, I'm sure United will be bringing loads of fans. So we need to make sure, from a City perspective, we'll fill that place up. We make sure they know that that's going to be a tough away game from them. And hopefully, the crowd can match the football and sort of talent that the girls have shown today.
Because it wasn't an easy crowd, was it? We heard the boos before the match. Also, after that Bunny Shaw goal, we heard a lot of boos whenever Bunny was on the ball. And they dealt with that pressure well, mostly.
Yeah, do you know what they did? It's a shame about the 2 yellows for that red. That is a shame. But I suppose in some ways it was a tactical foul that led to whatever it led to. But in fairness, I think with the changes that were made, when you can bring on the likes of Coombs and the likes of Steph as well, the captain, then you can sort of manage those moments. And I think United looked the least creative when they actually had the extra player on the field. So the crowd was hostile, and you'd expect them to be. They're getting behind their club, and it's their first time coming here to watch the derby as well. And the derby means so much to fans from this city. But again, thankfully, the blue side of Manchester won, and we can enjoy the next few days.
Yeah, the blue side prevails. How important and how well do you think the team managed? You mentioned it just a second ago, but after, when they had to ring in those changes, because it never really looked like we're on the back foot. It wasn't the kind of situation where we went down to 10 players and just, lobbed on a defender and sat back.
Yeah, to begin with, you still had Chloe on there, you still had Lauren in there. But then they make a tweak and maybe it goes a bit more defensive. But the fact is, there was always still some sort of threat in there. And it kept United honest at the back. But then again, you looked at the back five that was in play there. They were very, very solid. They allowed themselves to be able to become aggressive with the people they were playing against. And so the quality of play into those players was never as good as it could have been. And seeing Williams coming on with 20 minutes to go, it's a bit nerve-wracking given the history she's had in this last season, but thankfully she didn't really have a true opportunity.
And then when we look at the comparison from last time out in the league to this one, the chances were there, but the team put them away really, really well. How important will that be? We mentioned how City love to put a run of form together. Now they know they can take the chances and capitalise on them. That must be a huge confidence boost, particularly when they're putting them past England's number one.
Oh, well, exactly, yeah. And I think, to be honest, every game in itself is different. The opposition's different and so on, but the fact is you can get confidence from games. And if you can get confidence because you've played so well in an arena that had 43,000 people in who were all essentially hoping that you were going to lose. Credit to the City supporters that came today. They were very much outnumbered. But those supporters and the players, they held their own. And the next game that they'll play, is it Spurs perhaps?
Yeah.
That's going to be a tough game because Spurs have obviously started the season very, very well. The fact is, they know they can control the ball. They can sort of dictate the flow of the game. And with a bit of fortune, they take their chances and they can start climbing the league again.
Because it's an important win. We were behind United only by 2 points. We are now a point ahead of them in the league, and more importantly, I think when you look at the table up into third, that Champions League spot and it will be important, if not to push on from there, to hold on to that come the end of the season.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's one of those goals that, you know, everyone has to discuss at the start of the season because it matters. Getting into the Champions League is huge. You know, if that Champions League run also tends to coincide with a league title run, then great. But you need to put yourself in position to do that. And right now, they're not necessarily in that slot. But if they go on a run, Chelsea maybe drop some points. Who's to say that that can't also be part of the conversation? But it's good to see them. It's good to see them having a positive result after what's been a tough couple of weeks.
Absolutely. You know, we mentioned it pre-match that no team has won the league after losing 2 games. Gareth Taylor saying that,
as it stands,
that now is the time to push on and put a good run together. And I think, you know, Arsenal just above, 3 points ahead, but Arsenal have dropped points this season as well. So it'll be a case of making sure, obviously, this team is firing on all cylinders, but capitalising when other teams fall back.
Yeah, it certainly has to be that way. I think there are times when, you know, you look from a distance and hope that, you know, those big teams basically just, you know, they're just sort of like taking points off each other as such, and you can remain in a positive position whereby you're on a winning run. But they know that they'll have to play Chelsea, you know, they'll have to play Chelsea again, have to play Arsenal again, have to play United again, have to play other teams, you know, they've dropped points to again. They just need to make sure that, you know, they win those games, because if they do that, then it does feel like a 6-pointer as such. I know it's like stupidly cliched, but it does matter, because at the end of the day, we talk about, you know, how teams never lost 2 games and won a title, lost 2 games and won a title. Maybe this year can be the exception if you take points away from those at the top.
And we mentioned it a little bit just then, but got to give a word to the travelling fans. They're always exceptional, but today, penned into the little corner up there, you could hear them. They were responding to what was a really partisan crowd from the home fans. Yeah,
it was great. It's always great to have a few people following you wherever you may go, you know, and they were singing their hearts out. They came out in the rain, they came out, they knew they'd be outnumbered, and they came out and they were rooting for the girls. Even after they went 1-0 down, they were still very much part of the race, and as a consequence got the chance to enjoy what came afterwards, which was, you know, a series of mistakes from United, some great play by City and some opportunities taken by City as well.
It really does feel like on that point that it is a bit of give and take between the fans and the players. It's a really well connected squad who, you know, who talk to the fans, who value the fans, and vice versa, and they provided the show, didn't they?
Oh, they did. The players were magnificent. But then even say at the end of the game, something I felt jealous of was when Casper was about to take a throw in and saying "come on" to the crowd. You know, when you can sort of have that connection and be able to celebrate together, it's the type of thing which you love. Well, I love anyway as I look back at my career.
Absolutely. So yeah, another busy week as well with League Cup action in midweek. So an opportunity to see some of the players who didn't make it onto the pitch today. But you mentioned pre-match just as we were settling down in the press box. This is a really young and exciting squad.
Yeah, it really is. You know, some of these players, we see them at World Cups and European Championships, and these are some of the best players that are there on the field. Doesn't matter whether they're playing for England or whoever. So to get the chance to see some of those players play, and you know, if they do make changes, there are players who are chomping at the bit who are good enough to have played in the game today, but unfortunately can only ever pick 11. So I think it's going to be exciting, and what a nice feeling it is to, you know, to win 3 points here, to be able to leave Old Trafford with a smile on your face because you've won, and then get ready for the next game with a positive atmosphere, because it's not so much of a downer anymore because you've just lost the game that you possibly should have won. Yeah,
absolutely. Speaking of Leicester, in midweek we can announce our competition winner.
Okay, was it me?
The shirt. No, it's Kylie. Unless you've changed your name recently.
I don't, not recently, no.
Congratulations to Kylie. Leicester was the answer, and I was there at her debut. So it was in the Cup, her debut, and then her league debut was against Aston Villa. Well done to Kylie for getting both of those. We'll contact you to get the shirt over you, but what a prize. And another shout for Kiara Keating today. An incredible performance, really holding her nerve at the end as well.
Yeah, she was. I thought she was great. And when, you know, United were essentially throwing the kitchen sink at City, herself and those in front of her, they were not flustered. I think she made some really good saves. She made the right... There's a lot to be said about making the decision about when to go long and when to play short, managing the game, times when you get the ball and you land on it and you lay on the floor for a few seconds to take some of the heat out of the situation. She's very, very good at that for someone who is essentially brand new in that role.
Yeah. So
fair play to her, fair play to that back four, which turned into a back five, and everybody who took part, even Alexander as well. So it's good, and the future looks very, very bright. Very, very bright. Rather.
Yeah, she's just walked past behind us. What another performance, a huge performance from the youngster. Specs over there is changed his shirt. He was wearing a United shirt earlier, and now he's gone and whacked on.
No, we spoke to him before the game. I said it's definitely going to get changed. 100% going to get changed. And again, it's great. Like, Kiara's 19. Like, when I made my debut, I don't think she was born. So
That's a scary thought. We don't like to think like that.
Let's try and move on from that. But yeah, she's very, very good, and it's great that she's been given the opportunity. Obviously, it always comes at someone's expense, but she's been given the opportunity, and you can see her start to grow on a week-to-week basis.
And exactly that, extending her contract until 2027, it's a brilliant thing. It sets a brilliant precedent within the women's game, where we see, most of the time these shorter contracts, we've signed her down for the long term, and also, have her coming through the youth system, mirroring what we see over the road with the men, where, the EDS players, it just shows that there's that pathway, and there is an opportunity to play for your childhood club, and then go on and be a huge star in the first team.
But seeing someone do it really, really matters. Pathway matters. If you can get the chance to have someone come through the academy, someone support a team and play for the team, it's every supporter's dream. And I think the fact she's doing it and doing it so well, it's amazing. And also, you hope there's going to be more job security for some of the girls going forward.
Well, we have been joined. Alana Kennedy, come on in. Congratulations. Come between us and
the middle. What a performance, by the way.
Yeah, what a game.
I mean, it was obviously, I think we started off really well, but then going down a goal, it obviously tested us and our character as a team, but I'm just so happy and proud of everyone with how we turned that around and obviously won in the end. And
you see, when you do go goal down, what's the sort of messaging you put into, say, some of the younger players within the team?
I think it's about just keeping things simple and sticking to our processes and obviously believing in our game plan. We talked a lot about passion and heart and everything going into these into today off the back of the last couple of games, where I don't think we lost the game based on our footballing ability. It was probably a little bit more the fight, and so to see that today was really pleasing for everyone. Was your first time playing here? Yeah, I think so. And how was it? It's an easy place to come? Yeah. I mean, I think, I enjoy that. I thrive in those situations, where your back's against the wall. So, it was nice to come out with the 3 points.
And a word for the travelling fans, who were absolutely incredible in the corner up there. Yeah, they were amazing. They're amazing each week. So it was great to have them here. I was gutted we didn't get a chance to celebrate a goal in front of them, but we just appreciate them all and hopefully see them again next week. So, sorry. No, as you said, it's a busy week coming up with 2 games. We've got midweek and then the weekend as well. Plenty of opportunities to celebrate, hopefully, in front of the fans. But how are you preparing now? What's it going to be like after this game? Because obviously this is a huge one, the adrenaline before it, but then how do you focus straight onto the next thing? Yeah, I think that's key for us, is that we got up today for a big game, and I think we fight to the death of the big games all season, but we have to make sure that we're consistent throughout each week. So that'll be a focus for us going into Wednesday and up until the next couple of games until international. Hopefully we keep that same desire that we had today. To go back to before the game, did you feel there was added pressure because of, say, the previous 2 results, or was it just a normal game for you in terms of a league outing? I think a bit of both. I don't like to put too much pressure on myself, and I think same with the team. But we had a point to prove, so look, at the end of the day we won, so I'm just happy it worked out that way. Absolutely. Alana, we'll let you go and cool down and get warm. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Well, there's someone who knows how to perform on big stages, obviously coming off the back of a home World Cup with stadiums packed out, her first time here, and she was absolutely cool as ice. Yeah, she was. She was very, very good defensively, very, very solid. I think she showed great composure on the ball as well. I thought herself and Alex were great when it was just the 2 of them, and then bringing in Steph, the captain, the leader, the legend. And then that back 3, I wasn't worried as soon as they went to a back 5, just because I thought the experience and quality they have back there is to the level whereby it's going to take a lot for United to get themselves a goal or a couple of goals at least. So it's good to see that she's obviously happy, but it's like, this is who we are, and it's nice that Man City can come to places like this and know that they're a better side, and if they perform, they can get results like that. Yeah, well, we're going to go and skip out of Old Trafford, waving the flag, feeling very, very happy. Oh, sorry, I didn't get the free game. Nedum, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. As we said, a very busy week. Keep across it all on City Plus. We're going to skip out Manchester's Blue.